Well, good morning to those of you just waking up after last night's dispatches, or perhaps opening the pages of the Sunday Times. And if you haven't checked out either, a joint investigation appears to accuse Russell Brand of everything from the comedically outrageous to the hugely problematic to the outright criminal. Now, we've all grown used to the culture war swallowing every debate within society, spewing it up in a sort of divisive, tribalist manner. But I don't think that any of us ever dreamed that this sort of alleged criminal activity could yield any sort of grey area, any kind of division. Like, it wasn't that long ago that somebody who was accused of this sort of stuff would just be immediately removed from the pop culture conversation. No, people's careers would just go up in flames if they were accused of something this filthy, this violent. But now, such is the weird, hopeless, godless time that we live in, this too shall serve as the latest front line in the culture war. Indeed, GB News straight out the gate last night saying, why did dispatches choose to highlight Russell Brand? What about Jeffrey Epstein or all the allegations made about the BBC? Because they've been done before. It's called current affairs. This is the new one. It's called The News. Fellow GBB's presenter and Freeview Jesus Neil Oliver said, and here's where we are. And that was in response to this by GB News' Bev Turner. You are being attacked, Russell Brand. Establishment media don't know what to do with the fact you have 6 million subscribers and generate autonomous, knowing and original content. You are welcome on my GB News show anytime. Like, why would GB News do that? Why would they just come straight out the gate without really knowing anything about any of these individual cases by these women coming forward with their accusations? Why would they come straight out the gate and go, we defend you, we are backing you? That's what I was wondering last night and this morning. Perhaps you were too. But the answer to that is actually quite simple, because for GB News or its presenters or its alumni to roundly condemn Brand or the BBC or Channel 4 for continuing to empower him, continuing to platform him, some might say that might require them to consider the parallels between that and their own situation with continuing to platform Dan Wootton. Because GB News' star anchor faced a slew of accusations in a series of Byline Times articles earlier this year. And they had the opportunity to suspend him while they investigated those stories. But for one reason or another, they chose not to. Instead, he remains very much on the payroll and in the studio, and if any of those accusations are to be believed, he presents a very real threat to everyone he's working with. So they can't criticise the BBC with this, and they can't bash Brand, so instead they back him, and hopefully some of his conspiracy theory nut viewers will make the leap across to them.